And what is up? And welcome back to another episode of the Roll Call Podcast. I am Dylan Oxton here with Lucas Baldock. What's up, Lucas? So,
Oh, not much.
definitely not much. Um, for all of the Yankee fans out there, I don't need to tell you that we had quite the rough weekend. All the good mojo that we had coming in from the previous two series with the Athletics, taking 3 or 4 from them, and then taking 3 or 4 from the Royals at home. All the good vibes, all the good juju, gone. The Yankees get swept at Boston. We get swept by Boston again, this time in Boston. They got swept over the weekend, outscored 18-7. And it just nothing, absolutely nothing was going well for this team. Each time the Yankees went out there, the Red Sox just tattooed them in the first inning, jumped all over them. This Yankees team looked lifeless. I think the only two people to actually show up in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts this weekend were DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Judge. I didn't see anyone else out there that would represent a Yankees team, Lucas, to be perfectly honest. They kind of, and it was also just evident in just Aaron Boone looked lifeless, just Alex Cora out there managing circles around him. It just, our team did not come to play this weekend, and it could not have come at a worse time, to be perfectly honest, against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how big that series was. Them sweeping us in the Bronx over the weekend, or over a few weekends ago, and then we're going into Boston. We have a chance to carry on our good juju, as you called it. Taking those 3 out of 4 against Oakland, who was a good team, and Kansas City, who by no means are the Kansas City of a few years ago. They're also a decent team who can win some baseball games. I mean, that stat down there, Dylan, blows my mind. 7 runs in 3 games is not going to do it, no matter who you're facing. I mean, I don't even think that would get the job done against Baltimore, if I'm going to be frank. And just the difference that scoring runs can make, Dylan, tonight. I mean, the Yankees put up a 7-piece in the first inning alone. So putting up 7 runs in a single inning versus putting up, 7 runs over a stretch of 3 games, it's a difference. And we're on the verge of at least tying this series against Los Angeles. So it's just hard. I mean, when you know that on paper, this offense should be good. I mean, you have Aaron Judge, who everyone was, a few years ago before all the injuries happened, saying, he's the future face of the league. He was considered a top 5 player in this league. Same with Giancarlo Stanton. He can't stay healthy. And also people criticize the amount of strikeouts he gets, Giancarlo, that is. And then the disappointment of Gleyber Torres that's been this year. I mean, he was fantastic in 2019. 2020, he was all right. I mean, you really can't count 2020 against any of the players. He's been absolutely atrocious this season, though. I think last time I heard on the radio, he was 4 for his last 50. That's not getting it done. And then you got guys disappointing across the board like Brett Gardner, although I was not one for bringing Brett Gardner back on this team during the offseason, but they did it anyways. And then with Clint Frazier struggling, Gio Urshela's in and out of the lineup. He's been a consistent bat, though. And then Gary Sanchez, before 4 weeks ago, was very disappointing as well. Thank God he's coming to life, because if his bat wasn't in the lineup, we'd probably be doing pretty bad. And then Luke Voit, ever since coming back from his second stint on the IL, has been solid. So things were certainly trending up. This weekend was certainly a downfall, but I mean, if we can take 3 out of 4 against the Angels, and then I'm not sure, Dylan, who we have next, but
with the Mets.
The Mets,
they're no slouch either. They're a first place team, and they can pitch, and they're playing. This is not just the Mets of old where we're supposed to come in and kick the crap out of them. It's 2 teams that are battling for playoff spots, and right now the Yankees are battling. We've lost. up until last night, we had lost 4 straight, and we were at 40-38. And if someone told me at the beginning of the year, if at the halfway point the Yankees were going to be borderline 500, I would tell you I would be smashing the panic button, and that like I'd be just asking questions like, "Oh, who went down for the longest time, Judge or Stan?"
And
Both
they've both
these
been healthy.
we have been remarkably, aside from Zach Britton and Severino, this team has remained very healthy throughout the season. So, and we have seen this team do well in 2019. It's relatively the same constructed team. If anything, it's 2019 was a team of just, it was a mash unit of guys out there. Same with 2018. Just a lot of guys that weren't real major leaguers, but they were still getting the job done. Both those years, we won over 100 games. And now with the fully healthy squad, it just doesn't make sense that this team is, hovering around 500. And the fact that, that against the AL East, we're 17-24 and
Yeah,
0-6 against the Red Sox. Another thing is that I think we have to start taking this Red Sox team seriously, because I think this definitely come around to bite us in the ass. Because at the beginning of the year, I remember all 3 of us, and including JJ as well, so all 4 of us were just like, yeah, we don't have to really worry about the Red Sox. They can hit, but they can't pitch. But
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, their hitting just bludgeoned this Yankees starting pitching.
Oh,
Absolutely bludgeoned.
I mean, I'm still not one that thinks their pitching is fantastic, but they have the offense still in where their bats can just more than make up for it. I mean, they're, I believe, second in the AL in runs scored. Total offense, I'm sure they're up there as well. I mean, for a team that traded away an MVP player,
arguably one of the best players in the league.
yeah, I'd say top 3, top 5 minimum in baseball in Mookie Betts. I mean, for this team to be even relatively competitive is amazing to me. And you still got guys like Rafael Devers and JD Martinez who are hitting very, very well. And then Christian Vasquez has come a long way. And then you got guys who are up and down. Bobby Dahlback has shown some power, although he's been very inconsistent. Michael Chavis has been up and down from AAA. And I mean, even losing a defensive star like Jackie Bradley Jr., I mean, it looked coming into this season like the Red Sox were going to finish near the bottom of the division again. And I don't know. We downplayed them a lot up until this very moment, Dylan. I think it's time that we stop that and recognize them for what they are. And, that's a high-scoring offense right there. And it's scarily reminding me a lot of the 2018 Red Sox that, of course, went on to win the World Series. Don't like to see that. So the Yankees certainly have to step it up and get their offense going if they want to match the Rays and the Red Sox here.
And the scary thing about this Red Sox team right now and where the Yankees are right now is that coming out of the All-Star break, out of the first 11 games we play, 8 of them are against this Red Sox team. We have a 4-game set at the stadium right off the bat after the All-Star break against the Red Sox. And then I think we play 2 games or 3 games against the Phillies, who are also, they're not really a slouch team either. And then we have another series, a 4-game series at Boston. So arguably by the end of July, unless this Yankees team turns it around big time, we could be just straight up out of it. Just straight up out of it. And I know Cashman, we said 2 weeks ago, that this team will not be selling, that we will be buying. But he did revise his statement just the other day, saying that depending on what happens the next couple weeks against the Red Sox, and at the end of July, that he would have to reevaluate if this team just sunk. Which, to be perfectly honest, and I don't know about you, but I think I know what your answer is going to be. I can totally see that happening. I can totally see this team just, losing 3 or 4 against the Sox, both times. And then next thing you know, we're just looking up at the Sox and they're just running away with the division, or the Tampa Bay Rays are running away with the division, or maybe the Blue Jays. There's 3 more. That's the other thing about this, is that there's 3 other teams all competing for the top spot in this division, and the Yankees aren't showing much fight. It'd be different if it was just the Yankees were just behind the Red Sox, 7.5. I think it's 7.5 games now. If they were the only ones that we were fighting in the division, but they're not. We have the Rays, who we already have problems with. We already can't beat the Rays, and now we can't beat the Red Sox. Like, it's just there's no signs of hope. And what Boone and Cashman keep preaching, that there is hope, and that they see the guys coming out with better at bats, like with Glaber. They're like, oh, we're seeing improvements with his at bats. You know what I want to see? I want to see Glaber start hitting some home runs. I want to see Glaber start making some plays in the field. I want to see this superstar that he's been pegged his whole upcoming. When we got Glaber when he was like, I don't know, 20, 21, we're like, oh, can you believe he's only this age? He's going to be a superstar. Well, it's been a couple of years. Where's that superstar? He's certainly not showing up this year. And to be, I know we've killed Gary for his struggles, rightfully so, but Gary's turned it around. Stanton, we kill Stanton when he's struggling, but sometimes during this year, Stanton goes on absolute tears where he's completely carrying the offense. At one point, we thought he was, going to be an MVP. And Judge has been consistent all year. LeMahieu's waking up, but Glaber's the one guy that just can't hit at all. Can't hit at all.
Together at all.
And I mean, yeah, here's the stat. He was 4 for his last 51. Unbelievable. And Clint Frazier is also another person who, we were kind of counting on, like, this was going to be his year. We're all getting on Cashman and Boone about, like, why is Gardner playing? He's taking away at bats from Frazier. Well, Frazier hasn't, right there, hasn't touched the Mendoza line since April.
That is not good. No,
it's not good.
You can't be an everyday ball player, Dylan, when your batting average hasn't touched 200 since April 12th. I mean, come on. That is absolutely out of this world. Obviously, Gleyber Torres is far beyond that line. He is under whatever the 100 line is. I mean, glaring holes is the best way to put it. I mean, why are we playing these guys every day if they're not hitting? I mean, Gleyber, I feel like it's just because, Boone just sees the talent there and knows that eventually it'll come through, but obviously that's not happening right now. And Clint Frazier, I'd send him down to AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd bring up an outfielder from the minor leagues. Why can't Estevan Florial get a chance? I mean, we talk about that all the time. I mean, I know there's other outfielders down there who aren't maybe not quite as ready. Don't want to get too crazy talking Jason Dominguez here, but I think Estevan Florial certainly deserves a shot to be a constant appearance in this lineup for at least 1 or 2 weeks, Dylan. I mean, I know you agree with that, but it just doesn't make any sense to me why these guys continue to play every day. I know Clint Frazier isn't an everyday player, but he'll hit a home run and then Boone will play him 3 straight games and he'll just not hit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and ever since we got Clint Frazier, I've always been a big Clint Frazier guy. Even when we traded Andrew Miller for him, I did like a lot of, I don't know, I would say research on him or something. Because at that point, I was like, oh, the Yankees don't really go anywhere. Let's see what we got. And I've always been a fan of Clint Frazier. I have one of his like Barstool shirts. I've always been a big fan of his swing and just the way he plays. But just so far this season, even Boone has said it. He's got to get more aggressive at the plate.
Yep.
If I see him strike out looking, that's the one thing. That's another thing that this Yankees team has been doing, which has been driving me insane. And I can't believe. I mean, I'm sure Boone has said it, but I would like for him to say it publicly, which he never will. These guys just have to stop strike. I have no problem with them striking out swinging, because that means you're being aggressive. But striking out looking just can't happen anymore on this team. And it happens way too much. Way too much. You have to be way more aggressive at the plate. And Clint Frazier is hands down the biggest culprit when it comes to that. And when it comes to Gleyber, I think just a lot of his struggles are coming because he's playing out of place. He's just not a shortstop, Lucas. He's just not.
Yeah. I mean, even at second base, he was kind of shaky. I mean,
Yeah.
I never really thought. I mean, and if this means anything, on my MLB The Show franchise, I have him DHing. So, I think
just don't let him play the field at all.
No, I mean, in the game, he's bad. But you're right. I mean, he shouldn't be playing the field. Get Giancarlo in the outfield. Throw Gleyber Torres at the DH and get someone else to play shortstop. I mean, I'm sure there's someone down in the minors itching to play shortstop. We got to fix something here. I mean,
the thing is, I'm not one of those Yankee fans that hates Giancarlo.
I don't.
Yeah, I know. It's just I listen to WFAN all the time, and I hear all these calls, just like these boomer Yankee fans are like, just hate Giancarlo, and it's simply because he makes $300 million, and that he doesn't play the game like they used to play the game in the '80s or the '90s. Like, it's just these old men screaming at the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they hate Giancarlo because of how much money he makes. And their one valid point is he's a big roster suck right now. Him just strictly being a DH is really messing up this lineup and just messing up the way this team is constructed. Because and the thing is, I don't see why he just can't play the field. And we both know the reasoning why he can't play the field is because the Yankees won't let him. Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone are coddling him, and the training staff are coddling him because they're afraid he's going to get hurt. At this point, like the team's success has to come over, players' health. I know that sounds a little messed up, but it's not like he's going to go out there in the first 5 games he plays out in right field. It's going to be a disaster, or he's going to like break his leg or tear a hammy or pull a quad. I mean, if he does, then he does.
Right.
It's part of playing baseball. We have to get back to stop and this real. I gotta go real quick on this. The fact that Aaron Judge is not playing today is unreal. Boone's explanation was he needed a day. For what? He needs a day after 2 days ago. You're just like, it's all hands on deck. We have to start taking these games seriously. Like, we have to start acting like it's September. Well, if we're gonna act like it's September and every game matters, why the hell is your best player on the bench against the Angels? The Angels aren't a bad team. They just can't pitch. The Angels can hit. The Angels can beat the Yankees. And the fact that Boone's sending out that messaging, and then he comes out today and is sitting 2 of the better hitters on the team in Gio and Aaron Judge. It just like, what's the messaging on this on that point? And just to circle back on Giancarlo, him just being a DH just does not allow Luke Voit to get any DH time, because preferably I would like, and I know Joe hates this when we say just shift DJ over here, because he's such a great defensive. But DJ is that good defensively where he can play any position in the field.
Yeah.
We just long story short, we have to get Glaber out of short. That's it.
No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, like I said before, you don't play the field in my video game, so I want to play the video or the field in real life. I think I just can't talk about Glaber Torres anymore. I'm tired of it. Oh, he's just driving me up a wall. This guy. I mean,
And
come on.
really, no,
Yeah. Oh no, hell no.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can go down. I mean, if we were to trade Stanton, we have to trade the contract with him. So what? Like, what would we be getting back for Stanton? That's a question I need to know. And it's not like we can go up to any competitive team or any team that wants to start building around a future and be like, hey, you want this huge albatross of a contract? Great. He can't really play the field anymore, or unless he'll get injured. So that almost cancels out all NL teams.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then we're looking at select AL teams, and we're like, oh, great. He can only hit. So give us your best prospects. Like, it's just it and it's not like he's not performing. I'm not pissed at Giancarlo's performance. It's just the fact that and it's not his fault either that the Yankees are strictly making him a DH. It's just the fact that they have him as strictly a DH, which is just killing this team right now. And this is just Cash's quote the other day. I know they urgently want to get back on track, but I know that we suck right now. Well, I'm glad he's taking responsibility, because the way this team is constructed right now, they do suck. Honestly, they do suck. I think I've always been reluctant to join the whole Yankees need a left-handed bat crowd, but just the one lefty bat that we have is an absolute zero. Is not helping. It's just not helping at all.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, like, I know we were joking about when Aaron Hicks went down. We're like, oh, we're not gonna miss Aaron Hicks all that much. He wasn't really doing anything.
Certainly miss him defensively.
Oh, yeah, we missed him defensively, and whatever he was doing before he got hurt, it was a hell of a lot more than what Clint Frazier has been doing, and what Brett Gardner's been doing. I'll tell you that. I mean,
Brett Gardner is just an old man. He doesn't. I mean, it looks like we used to say all the time, like, oh, it's good to have Brett Gardner out there. He can, steal some bases. He's a gritty guy. He's like 36. He's not stealing bases anymore.
He's never even been that much of a base stealer anyway.
No, and I wouldn't even trust Tim Dillon, to be honest, to score on a shallow single if he's standing on second.
I mean, you know what's funny is today he actually DJ had a kind of a grounder down the line for a double, and he surprisingly hustled from first all the way home.
Did he really?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't believe my eyes. But no, this dude's not the same. He's like, what, 36, 37?
Yeah.
He's not a starting baseball player in the major leagues. Hence why he's only on like a 1-year contract for $3 million, and he was sitting behind all these guys. And yeah, brother, you're so right. Brett is so out of place on this team. It's crazy. And another thing about Estevan Florial is he's a young lefty bat that we could be adding.
Right.
And I know that Sweeney Murdy and other Yankees reporters have been saying that he has been Florial has been struggling down in the minor leagues, but maybe a jump up to the majors would give him a little pep in his step, or maybe jump to his bat. It's just at this point, anything would help with the outfield help. We can't have Aaron Judge out there running around center field.
No,
That's a recipe for disaster.
right.
Not
On the injury aspect with Judge, I mean, he
Mhm.
can barely play right field without hurting himself. He can't be
Mhm.
running around center field. Center fielders are supposed to be the most like athletic and risky, and then they dive for everything. You can't be doing that, man. Not Aaron Judge, at least. Come on.
No, definitely not. Um, Another glaring problem that has popped up this weekend against the Red Sox has been the Yankees starting pitching. Uh, it was just an absolute zero
Oh,
right from the get go. Friday start with Domingo Herman, just the Red Sox just teeing up on him. Just after the first inning, just let you know that it was going to be a rough day, and
yep.
it's been like even tonight, Domingo started. I'm so last time I checked, we were fine. We were winning 7-3,
Yeah,
and
it's
he hit and he
currently in a rain delay.
no surprise there. Uh, but just I saw him that he settled down, and he did eventually settle down in his Friday start. But just right off the bat, you can't just let up 4 runs in the first inning against the Red Sox. And it's almost like clockwork every single time Domingo's out there. And then Saturday start, it's hard to kill Monty for the runs let up because on paper he had a bad start, but we really just got killed by a lot of dink and dunk hits and errors.
Yeah.
So you can't really kill Monty on that, but runs are runs. And then this thing on Sunday, just the capper was Garrett Cole just getting absolutely demolished. It was
Rocked.
embarrassing. And
Rocked.
yeah, that's an understatement. Kike's just the very first pitch I turned it off. I was like, I'm not watching this today. I'm not letting this team ruin my Sunday again, which they've been consistently doing
For weeks now.
Yeah, the thing is, every time we lose or look crappy, it's been on the weekend to ruin my weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll bounce back in the middle of the week, have a nice couple wins, like we're doing now. And then we'll blow it on the weekend. But yeah, Garrett Cole's Sunday start. I personally watched the first pitch, turned it off, and then 30 minutes later, I go back to check. It's 5-0. I'm like, good thing I turned it off. But yeah, Cole just absolutely rocked.
Yeah, I mean that's a perfect way to put it. He got rocked, and like we were talking about before the show, Dylan. Is this the new Cole? I mean, the sticky stuff, all that crap coming out. They're doing checks on the pitchers now. I believe one pitcher has been suspended already. He's on the Seattle Mariners. I mean, they need all the help they can get. They might as well just let him use this stuff. But yeah, Garrett Cole, he's had 2 starts now that he's looked pretty bad. In couple prior starts, he was looking pretty solid again. But this most recent one, like you said, he just got smacked around. And on the first pitch of the ball game, I mean, you turned the TV right off. I did the same thing. I mean, there you go.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. Oh my God, Hector Santiago.
It's rough right now for us Yankees fans, Dylan. It is rough. I mean,
the thing is, like, we're not a bad. I heard someone today being like, "Well, I don't know why Yankee fans are freaking out. It's not like they're the Pirates." Well, last time I checked, the Pirates don't have expectations.
yeah, right.
They weren't supposed to come in this year and win a world championship. This team was supposed to win a world championship. We've been sitting around ever since the 2017 team. Once we had that team, we're like, okay, we can build off this and expect a championship out of this group. Well, where is it? I don't see. There's no signs right now of a championship, let alone a playoff appearance right now.
Yeah.
We are behind so many other teams for the wild card, not the division. We're already behind 3 teams for the division, but I think we're down six other teams for the wild card, the second spot in the wild card. It just right, it just does not look good. And Garrett Cole, like, yeah, he had his other 2 starts before this Red Sox debacle. He looked good. He got the dub. But his strikeouts are down a lot. I wouldn't say significantly, but he hasn't had any, like, 11, 12 strikeout games. It's really been like 5 or 6 strikeouts a game. He's been walking a lot more guys. His control is definitely not what it used to be. And he's always been home run prone.
Yeah, he's
But
always been giving up the home runs. Hopefully, well, luckily they're always solo shots, but nevertheless, he still gives out the home runs.
yeah, and then Sunday we see what happens when he starts walking guys on and guys start getting hits. And then he starts letting up these bombs. They solo bombs turn into 3-run shots. And then, game's over before you even know it. And just this, I don't think he's a total product of the sticky stuff, because his stuff in general is still going to play. He's still going to get guys out. It's not like he's not throwing 98. It's not like he doesn't have like a wipeout curveball with a wipeout slider to go with it. And it's not like he doesn't have one of the best changeups in the league. He's got the stuff. It's just, and I think we're seeing it around the league too, because I think we've seen a much more offensive explosion. When good hitters get fastballs, they hit them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been leaving too many fastballs just to good hitters. The fastball he left to Rafael Devers, and the one Devers said 460 feet. Oh my goodness! That guy can hit. I mean, I'm very jealous that the Red Sox have Rafael Devers. I hate him, but boy, he can hit, and he smacked that ball off Cole. Absolutely demolished it. And just the past couple starts, we've seen Garrett Cole leaking balls right over the plate. Quick couple side notes before we wrap up. We won last night.
I know all the sad talk, right, Dylan? You think we would have lost 15 games in a row.
I mean, honestly, it feels like it, because
It
you know what I have to say about this season. It's just it's like, I don't know. It's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. No, I think it's too soon, really, because
every pitcher has those days.
Yeah, every pitcher just had There's times that we light up Chris Sale. That we constantly lit up a Cy Young Award pitcher and David Price. Some guys maybe just can't face certain teams, or some guys just have bad days. Not every pitcher is Jacob deGrom, which, I mean, oh my God, I'm having absolute nightmares what he's going to do to the Yankees lineup. Just full of righties. He's just going to kill them with fastballs, and then he's going to just throw that 93-mile-per-hour slider at them. And I could see Giancarlo, Judge, and Gary just all getting a golden sombrero in one night, because unless the Yankees really show me something up until we face DeGrom, I have zero confidence. None whatsoever.
Yeah, no, me neither, Dylan. I don't blame you.
I'm perfectly honest. I could see DeGrom going in there throwing 8, striking out 15, 14 guys. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, 10 of them would be down looking too, knowing us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Clint would go down every time looking. Clint would go down every time. And just... and you know what the other thing is? I gotta kill Glaber even more. I still gotta kill this guy. DJ, and the thing is with DJ and Gary, they were struggling, but now like made visible changes to their approaches.
Yep.
DJ has become much more aggressive. He's going the opposite way with the ball. Same with Gary. Gary's always been aggressive, but he got rid of that big kick step. And Gary's been going opposite way too. He's showing opposite field power. His home run yesterday was a bomb to right field. I mean, I haven't seen him hit an opposite field home run in years.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, and then when Glaber comes up, we still see him, trying to hit 450-foot home runs to left field, where we just hit line drives, my guy. Just get RBIs. There's people on base, like it's July. It's not May anymore. It's not April. It's not the beginning of June. We're halfway through the season. Like, he's got to pick it up. And the thing is, we wouldn't be killing him. We wouldn't even really be killing him about his defense if he was just hitting. Because here's a prime example of someone who is not a good defensive shortstop, but nobody talks about it. And I don't know if you know this, but Fernando Tatis, worst defensive shortstop in the league statistically.
Yeah, you don't hear anything about it.
You don't hear people about it. You want to know why? Because he's hitting bombs. He's hitting.
Yeah, he's a great hitter. Absolutely. I mean, if Gleyber Torres has 25 home runs and 60 RBIs right now, is hitting a 275, 280, you don't hear a goddamn word about the defensive struggles. I mean, the things that could be changing right now, Dylan, for Gleyber Torres.
He's leading the league in errors, not just at shortstop, but errors just in general. But no one's
I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised.
And there's no reason really to talk about it because he's also statistically probably going to be the MVP. Well, maybe Shohei or Vlad, who knows? But Tatis is definitely in the MVP conversation. But because he's so good offensively, you don't hear about how bad defensively he is.
Yeah.
But Glaber's just both. So
yeah, he can't be both.
And we got to kill him either way. And same with Clint. Same with Clint. Just and people have also been asking if we're who should we send down if we're going to send down anyone. Clint Frazier's got to be number one. Yeah, I don't think he should be sent down as punishment. I just think he just needs to get his mind right.
Yeah, he needs to hit off of some worse pitching. He needs to get his back going. So I believe if he gets his back going, I mean, he can hit against these major league pitchers. I mean, we always hear about his legendary bat.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it.
This team's hard to watch, buddy.
Oh yeah,
hard to watch.
But yeah, no, we had an apparent offensive explosion. I should have put that in quotations. We won 11-5 last night. It was refreshing to just honestly, just see them score runs like the Yankees of old, and by of old I mean a year and a half ago. And we scored 7 in the first today. No thanks to Shohei. And another just real quick little tidbit before we wrap it up. Zach Britton back to the IL. I'm not too upset about it.
No, it'd be different if he was playing and doing good and striking guys out, but we haven't even seen him in the on the Yankees yet. So not much of a
no. And you know what? We're getting Justin Wilson back and Darren O'Day. They're very good out of the bullpen. I hope Chapman can get it back on track. He's shown signs of it, but past couple of days we haven't really needed to use him because we're not winning any baseball games. Also, just another thing, I want to ask your opinion on this. How brutal was that Adam Ottavino was just absolutely killing the Yankees this weekend.
Oh,
Just absolute, and that Rule of 5 guy we lost to the Red Sox too, just coming in and shutting us down. It could not have been worse.
I cringed when I watched that. It's like he's been not so good. I don't even think he's been that great for them, but I mean, he obviously had a vengeance. So,
well, that and he's great against righties.
Yeah,
He's great against righties. So when I saw his splits, I think his splits were like he's 280 average against lefties, which is not that good. You don't want it to be that high, but it's like sub 1 against right-handers. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, we're not touching him. We're not going to touch him. And then when I saw Giancarlo go up there, I was like, Ottavino was going to just throw slider after slider, and he didn't. He threw just fastballs up and in, and Giancarlo had no idea what to do because he was expecting sliders.
Yeah.
Just that was tough to watch. And then, of course, the Red Sox rolled out Jacoby Ellsbury Saturday night for that Dustin Pedroia. Yeah, they were like honoring Dustin Pedroia, and they brought out his friend Jacoby Ellsbury. Oh,
You know, did he get cheered or booed?
Oh, he got cheered. He's won. I mean, there's Red Sox fans have no reason to hate him. He's won 2 rings.
And he just stole a bunch of money from us. So.
Yeah, and he stole money from the Yankees. So, if anything, he's a Red Sox down to the core.
It's probably a special mission.
Oh yeah, for sure. So looking ahead, the Yankees are we still currently winning this game against the Angels? Could you?
Yeah, I believe we are still in a rain delay.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're in a rain delay. Did you know if we made it past the crucial 5.5 innings
for the dub? We did not. We were in the 3rd.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh,
looks like if anything, we will be either resuming this game much later or playing it another day. If you check the Yankees Twitter feed, there is a video out there. Significant lightning. You can see the lightning right behind the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it before hopping on. It was very loud. Well, I mean, how are they going to do that? How are they going to? Because tomorrow it's going to be raining. I wasn't expecting to get the 1 o'clock game in at all.
They might have to just play I have no idea. I have no idea.
MLB's gonna like turn this into like a home run derby, like just Shohei versus Gary. That's what they're gonna do it, and whoever wins the series. And knowing and the way Shohei's heading, will lose. But after the next couple of Angels games, we have the Mets coming in for the July 4th. I think it's a 3-game set against the Mets. I mean, honestly, I never usually say Subway Series are that big of a deal. I've never really considered the Mets rivals, but this is an interesting time that we're at right now because both these teams, like I said earlier, need wins and are fighting for playoff positions.
Right. Yep.
So, and another thing, Mets offense equally as bad as the Yankees offense, even though on paper they're in the same boat as we are. That on paper they should be a top 5 offense. So it's both these teams coming in struggle offensively. Someone's got to give. Either the Yankees bats got to wake up, which it's definitely not going to happen against DeGrom, or the Mets bats are going to wake up. And honestly, the way they've been hitting way worse than the Yankees have.
Yeah.
So the way that's been progressing, I don't see that happening. But
we shall see, I guess.
Yes, we shall see. I'd like to say real quick that you can visit us on. Oh, it shows up right there. My bad. Visit us on Clovercrest Media /Roll Call Podcast and then Facebook at the Roll Call Podcast, and Twitter, the Roll Call Show, and IG, just the Roll Call Podcast. And our show today was brought to you by Rocky Hill Accountants. They're just a bunch of great people down in Rocky Hill.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, God, I love those Rocky Hill accountants. But when I do need my accounting done, like when I get my taxes done, I am going to them next year. I'm no longer going back to my old accountant. I'm making sure I'm going to Rocky Hill. That's going to do it for us here at the Roll Call Podcast. I am Dylan Oxton here with Lucas. Hopefully, we'll be back next week with better news and more Yankees wins. But, the way that's been going, anything could happen.
Yep.
All right, guys. Yep. Have a great day, everyone. Let's go, Yankees.
Woo!